All right, we're back at it again. Me and Kanye giving you the MMA results. We're going to give you our opinions on the fights that took place and what fights we got coming up. And so I want to jump right in because UFC 262 was absolutely phenomenal. We got to see a new lightweight champion. The belt was kind of taken up hostage by Habib because he had retired, and Dana White thought he was going to get him to come out of retirement for his 30th fight, and it did not happen. So then basically he held the belt for hostage for like a year. He held it for 2 years before that. And it's just really unfortunate because the lightweight division was kind of held up for a long time. Because even before that, Connor had the belt, but he didn't fight for 2 years because he jumped up, and did the Mayweather fight. So it's just like the last 4 years it's been held hostage. So I'm excited because right now we have some of the top contenders for the lightweight division, some of the best in the US in the world are duking it out right now. And so there's some great matches to come. But how about that match with Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler? What's your take on that fight?
That fight was a barn burner, man. That fight, I thought Charles Oliveira was done by the in the first round, but he came out and knocked him out. You know.
I mean, at the end of the first round, it was complete total domination. It looked like Charles Oliveira was going to be finished. If you were to tell me that Oliveira was going to win the fight in the second round by a knockout, I would have told you that you're crazy. That's how amazing that fight was. He came out from the second round and jumped right into the octagon and wham, just stuck him and knocked him out and finished him. It was amazing. I mean, 19 seconds into the second round. I mean, that was how fast it was. And
Everything was crisp and tight, and he placed it just right, and he didn't waste no energy. All straight punches. I think what got Michael Chandler was he was just too overzealous and too excited, and it cost him. And he was just throwing looping punches. He was lunging in, and it cost him. So, you know,
yeah, yeah, it did. I think he was a little bit excited because he almost had him finished. And so he's just like, oh, you know what? I don't even care. I'm just gonna take this dude out. And Charles came out of nowhere and just blasted him. What an incredible fight. I mean,
yeah.
honestly, I'm actually glad that Charles won because, like, dude, he's been in the UFC forever. I
I
mean,
mean,
he grew up in the UFC basically. And that he's
he
in the he's only how old is he?
he's like 30,
He's
30.
30. He started when he was 20. He was a kid when he started. And he was 20 years old. In 10 years, he's put together just some incredible fights. That was his 39th MMA fight. He's 31 and
Yes,
8.
yes, and I think on the UFC broadcast, they said that it took him more times to get to the belt than it took Michael Bisping. He was right behind Michael Bisping, and he beat
Yeah.
my. That's crazy. That's crazy that it took him that long just to get a chance to fight for the belt because he has so many setbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, just incredible, man. Just incredible. Just incredible. Just it's just incredible to watch this fight. It was insane. So I mean, a
Yeah.
match to make now. I mean, you almost have to do. Yeah, I mean, I
The
don't know.
winner of Connor and Poirier.
But then we
Con-
wait. I mean, and then we wait. How long? I mean, what if they go out and do just an all-out brawl war? He could be suspended for 6 months, and then it's held hostage again. But I'd like to see by the end of summer, you know, I don't know. With
They
Justin
have all their
Gaethje,
cards.
with Justin Gaethje losing, I almost feel like he has to fight Chandler.
But they have all their cards all filled up already. We got Connor. We already got next month's pay per view. We got the month after that. We they don't have any summer room to.
You
But
either have Chandler fight Sandhagen, or you have Chandler fight um Justin Gaethje, because Justin Gaethje lost. He can't just run it back for the belt.
yeah,
No way. He has to fight his way back up to number one contention. Right now, the
yeah, but
number one contender is Dustin Poirier, and
yes,
he's gonna fight Conor McGregor. It could very well be Conor McGregor wins and beats Poirier and fights for the belt. Oliveira beats Charles Oliveira and comes back to become the UFC champion again. If he did
yes,
that, wow. I don't see that happening. I honestly don't. What I do see happening is Poirier beating Connor, Poirier getting a title shot, and Poirier becoming the champion. And then after that, I either see a retirement, because I don't see how he could maintain that level for more than 2 years. I don't see it, because Poirier is he's getting up there in age. It's just not going to happen. We're going to have some new reigning defending champions. I really could see Oliveira
that's
only being
yeah.
30. I don't see him cleaning out the division. I really don't. He almost got finished. I really feel like he really persevered, showed his toughness, and he won the belt. I don't see him holding on to the strap.
Me neither. I
I mean,
think
not for
that
very
title.
long. Like I mean, I don't see him cleaning out the division. I don't see another Khabib coming in and just sweeping everybody away.
I mean,
I I don't see
Islam.
that happening for a long
Islam is
time.
coming up though. Islam, his like cousin, is
Yeah,
Khabib's cousin. Islam, he's coming up. Like
he's coming up. He's got great grappling. He's got great submissions. He's really good in that area. Um, he's got some work to do with the striking.
But remember though, Khabib didn't have striking it until he fought Connor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is Habib got better and got better and got better.
Right.
And let's keep in mind, he trained with the American top team. He trained with Danielle
Well,
Cormier.
he trained with AK,
Oh,
AKA.
AKA, yeah, American Kickboxing Academy, right?
Yep.
AKA, some of the best. So it's a great fight. Let's move on to the co-main event. We had Tony Ferguson versus uh Darush. Wow, Darush was just completely dominant. Yeah.
But you also got to think though, Tony's really getting up there in age. He's like 39 or something. He's not in his prime anymore.
I think he's
I think
38, but still,
yeah, I think he lost a part of himself after that Justin Gaethje fight, and he just hasn't been the same since.
yeah,
It's really
I don't know. Um, that knee that almost popped, or I swear it did pop.
yeah, yes,
I don't
it
know
did.
how Tony doesn't tap. Like, that dude is crazy. I mean, for him to
Mm,
do that is just insane not to tap. That was such a tight, what was it, a heel hook or something like that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then he just twisted that leg completely, and you seen that knee pop. Like, oh, it was just brutal.
Yeah. Speaking of popping, Jacare got his arm popped, and broken, on one of the fights prior
Yeah,
to that, and he got released from the UFC just recently. He's been cut. This will be his like fifth loss in a row. I wish the UFC didn't release him, but I understand why they released him. Just because they need to put new talent and get rid of the old talent.
Dude, he's like 42 years old. I mean, come on. It's time. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I mean, you can always go to Bellator. You can
I
always go
mean,
to Bellator.
in order for the UFC to continue to be the number one fight promotion in the world, you kind of have to weed out the ones that are not winning. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of people that aren't winning. And really, our heavyweight division is a division where everybody's lost and nobody's great. Um, that's just the truth. I mean,
I,
DC was the heavyweight champ. Cain
yeah,
Velasquez,
yeah,
Stipe.
yeah.
When you name all these people, Francis, Derek, Blades, Curtis, I mean, you name all of the heavyweights, they've all lost. They've all
Yes,
lost.
yes.
You don't have a dominant
The
heavyweight
problem is
champion
like
right now.
when you move up to heavyweight, you're kind of up there in age. Like John Jones is up there in age.
But
He can't compete.
I could see a Derek Lewis knocking Francis out, and then the next then you have a trilogy, and then you have to run it back again. I mean, the
I,
best
mean,
of
I don't know how they're gonna promote that because that first fight was boring.
well,
That first
how
fight
they're
was
gonna
so
promote it is
boring.
both fighters are better. I mean, Derek Lewis, no question, he's in way better shape. No question, Francis Ngannou has takedown defense, grappling, and striking
But we did
improvements.
see Francis get a little bit tired towards the end of uh, that one round that fight
I
lasted.
mean, even with Francis tired, that dude's got freak strength. That dude can
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
you, like just
yes.
touch you with his pinky and knock you out.
It's
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
yeah.
It's really kind of crazy.
No, seriously, man. Woo. The only time I like to be in the room with that dude is if I'm getting his autograph, and that's about it.
I
Straight
wouldn't
up.
even go there then. I wouldn't even go there then. I'm like, stick it to the door. I'm not even.
No, I don't want nothing to do with Francis. You monster. Get away from me, dude. You're too freakish. Like what a strength. What a
Yeah.
beast. But I love, man.
Yeah.
I love Francis, man. I love
I
his
mean,
persona.
it's
I
cool
love
that we
his
have three
passion.
African
Yeah.
champions now. We got
Yeah, I
three of
love that.
them.
I love that the Africans are reigning right now, man. Israel Adesanya, you got Kamara
Yep, he's
Usman, you got Francis Ngannou.
gonna
I
defend
love it.
himself.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I wouldn't be
Yeah.
mad if they hold up those divisions and take them hostage and just rain down and wipe out, clear out all the divisions. I wouldn't be mad. Not at all,
I
man.
mean, no. I mean, they're all pretty close, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Oh, they really are. And that's awesome, man. I really love what they've done to the sport. They're making it exciting. I mean, I think Kamara Usman's he's just on another level compared to anybody else in his division. There's nobody even close to him. There's nobody that can even hurt him. There's nobody like
And now that he has actual, punching power and he knows how to strike correctly, he's gonna be unstoppable.
yeah. Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
can wrestle. That's a recipe for
Yeah.
disaster right there.
Another impressive fight on the list. We just go back down the list a little bit.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with um the Edson Barboza versus Shane Burgos fight.
Oh, did you see Edson Barboza's leg after the fight? It was all bloody because he,
Uh,
he was kicking him so much.
his shin was bleeding, dude. I mean, he was just hacking that dude away like it was a axe to a tree. Like he was hacking that sucker. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Now,
that
now that
really was a good fight. The first round was really close. Uh, and then the second round, they just brawled. They just exchanged blows after blows. There was a lot of leg kicks. There was a lot of punches. And then Edson Barboza, man, with the knockout, it was kind of bizarre because I have never seen a delayed response knockout like that ever before. Like he hits him and then like 5 seconds later, maybe 4 seconds later, he stumbles back and basically just falls down up against the cage and goes and he's out. I have
The
never
first,
I've never
yeah.
witnessed that. I've watched 1,000 MMA fights. Like I've watched UFC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 262. I have not missed a single UFC pay-per-view event ever. Yeah.
But
So I've never seen it.
the thing was, he was confused when he was stumbling back. Like you could see it in his face. Like, why am I falling backwards? Like,
Yeah. His body just shut down. Like it just shut down. Like he wanted to keep fighting and he just couldn't do it. And he just got knocked. I've never seen anybody get knocked out like that before. That was pretty
never,
crazy, man. Pretty crazy.
never.
Last weekend though, UFC Fight Night, Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt. I called it. I told you, I asked you before the fight who's gonna win, and I just felt like Rob
No,
Font was
no,
gonna
no.
win.
Let me disclaimer here. Let me just say this: Cody
Hey,
wasn't there mentally, and when he threw,
oh, you can't say he wasn't there mentally. Yes, he was.
no,
What happens is
no, he
when
wasn't.
you
He
have a
was not. You didn't see him block. You didn't see
man,
him throw one punch at
dude.
all.
Oh,
It was
yes, he
like
did.
when
Yes,
Steve
he did.
A fought Griffin
The
for the
first round,
second
and the
time.
second round. Look, the first and second round. I'm gonna tell you what happened. He got amnesia. Okay, from the from the jab.
No,
He got jab
no,
amnesia.
no, no.
Okay, that's the diagnosis. Jab amnesia. All right. What happens is you get hit so many times with that jab, you forget where you're at and you forget
No,
your game
no,
plan.
no,
That's what
stop
happened.
it.
He had jab
Stop
amnesia.
it.
I'm
Stop.
telling you right now, man.
No, no, he was just not there mentally. And when he wanted to throw, he was too fast for Rob Font.
You're right about not being there mentally. He got knocked out. I mean, he
He didn't
over and
get
over.
knocked out.
I mean, but he did. I mean, look, that jab, man, lit him up. Okay, he was
Yeah,
not
but he
the
went
same.
all 5 rounds, but he didn't
Boom,
throw
boom,
one
boom.
single
He
punch.
did, but and hats off to Cody for being tough, for being a champion that he is.
I think he'll
And
be back. I think he'll be
I
back.
think he just didn't go in there and throw hands because
I
he'll go in there and get knocked out because he tries to think he can just go
I think
there
that's
and
what he
knock
was
people out,
worried
and he
about
has to
though.
realize that you got to have a better game plan than what you're doing.
I
Yeah,
mean, he
for sure.
did. He really did. Like he wasn't like usually when he got hit, you would just go, wild and start punching. He actually was taking Rob Font down pretty easily in that fight, if I do say so myself. But
Man,
I
the
think those
first round. Okay, the
I think
first
those
round.
takedowns really got uh Cody because he had an adrenaline dump,
Yeah,
and
and
then
he
he
got
wasn't
tired
the same after
because
that.
in the third round there was no taking downs. He was too tired. The fourth round,
You could see it in
no
his face
takedown.
like he was done.
Yeah, he couldn't do it anymore. He got too tired. So that's what
Yeah,
happened with
you can
him.
see it in his face when the corner was
Yeah,
talking to him like,
even when he took him down, he didn't hurt him. So Rob Font, what a great mighty display of footwork, head movement, and jab, 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 jab. It's just an amazing jab. I mean, Kamaru Usman beats Jorge Masvidal because of a jab, and then he knocks him out. But it's the
yeah, because
jab that does
everything's
it.
set up by jab. If you don't have
The
the
snappy
jab, you
jab
don't
does
have
it
anything.
every time, man. It's like if you don't have the jab and you're an MMA fighter, you need to go find a boxing coach so that you can go get that jab because that jab is everything. Yeah,
I mean,
that's what you got to have.
remember way back when people didn't think that the jab didn't do anything. Now the jab is the most lethalest weapon that fighters can put in their toolbox and use now.
Carla Esparza, 19-6, 5 fights in a row. I believe she deserves the to fight for the belt. She needs a rematch. You think she's gonna get it?
I think so. I
I
do.
hope so. I hope so. All right. Well, that wraps it up for the fight night that happened last week. Let's move ahead to the fight that we have coming up. We have Rosenstruck coming up. He's fighting Augusto Sakai. You know,
Yep.
Rosenstruck, he's coming off of 2 fights losses in a row from being undefeated. So
I
I
mean, he
really
did. he did knock out Junior Dos Santos in his last fight. So I mean, I don't know if I don't know if he can be. I don't know if he can be Augusto, but you know, I don't know if he can even be like the top five guys just because
Yeah.
he doesn't have fundamentals. He's not all there. It's like I don't know. I think what got him to the UFC was his punching power. He can knock somebody out in one shot. You saw what he did to Alistair Overeem with literally like 10 seconds left in the fight, and Alistair was winning the fight, and he got knocked out by one punch.
Yeah, you see that, but it ain't gonna work against Derek Lewis. It ain't gonna work against Francis Ngannou. It's not gonna work against Stipe, and it's probably not gonna work against Curtis Blades. But yes, he has a place in the division. He's still young. I mean, he's only 33 years old. I mean, he's got some time to hone up his game. I think what matters is when you have the power in the hands, you got to have the grappling. Like that's what you got to have. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, I think he's gonna beat Augusto. I think he's gonna knock him out.
I don't. I don't
Okay.
like if he, I really don't
So
like.
you got
I seen
you got Augusto winning.
Yeah, I seen Augusto fight before, and no,
All
I
right.
just don't.
Co-main event: Walt Harris, Marcin Tybura. I'm going with Tyson, but Tybura.
I'm just
Marcin.
going with Walt Harris because of his like stepdaughter, got murdered, and he's trying to, not forget it, but deal with like the pain of like losing his stepdaughter. So I want him to win just because of that.
Yeah,
It'd
I
be
mean, yeah, wanting someone to win, but who do you really think has the skills to win? Like, let's be honest. Like, if you're looking at the fighter and not any personal things, just him as a fighter versus Tybura, I think Tybura moves around a little bit more, better, and has a little bit crispier striking.
you
But
may be right.
I could be wrong. But that's what I think. All right, let's
Yeah,
move on. We're gonna get into some
but we
MMA
always
news. All right,
anyway.
let's go
So
right into let's go right in. Um
yeah.
John Jones. Hello, John Jones. He has now he has now got himself hired a new coach, right?
A new manager, yeah.
New manager. Yeah, a new manager that has overseen some of the biggest boxing fights in the world. Uh
Yep. Yep. John just wants that money to go up to heavyweight.
yeah,
He's been putting on the
I
muscle.
think he'll get it. I think he'll have to wait a little bit longer. I think that Dana White wants him to fight Stipe, jumping up into the heavyweight division. I feel like
I
he
honestly don't
deserves
think that ten
a
million dollars
championship
is
fight.
worth it to go to
I
fight
think
for
he deserves
Francis.
a championship fight just because he was the reigning defending light heavyweight champion for so long. You see all these other guys get these super fights. You see Henry Cejudo get it. You see DC get it. You see Amanda Nunes get it. You see everybody else getting it. Why can't he get it? You see Conor McGregor getting it.
Because the problem with John Jones is they're worried about him getting too confident and start using drugs again, so they don't want to give him these big paydays, and so he can go waste it on drugs or whatever he used to do. But to me, I think he's a better person. To me,
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm happy for John Jones in the sense that he's got a serious promoter to help him, because I really want to see him in the heavyweight division. I feel like he needs to really seriously take it serious and get his
I'm
body, his power and his speed where it needs to
yes,
be to fight against
I,
these monsters.
yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what got Israel Adesanya is he didn't take the amount of time that John Jones did to put on the right amount of muscle to go up to light heavyweight like John is doing now to go up to heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, Israel did it in 3 months. John Jones did it in a year. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So other things going on is in Bellator, it looks like Michael Venom Page is entertaining the idea that he does want to go to the UFC. Um, I'd like to see him
I
fight for the
mean,
belt
he would be
again.
stupid not to want to go to the
Yeah,
UFC.
pretty much. That's. I mean, yeah,
you
for sure.
you might say you don't want to go to the UFC, but deep down, you know you wanted to go to the UFC.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to go to the UFC.
yeah. So, John Jones, I really want to see you fight in the UFC heavyweight division. I really feel like I'd like to see him fight for the belt, but if not, I'd like to see him
Mm-hmm.
fight Stipe. I know Dana White wants him to fight Stipe. I guess I'm okay with that. Whatever,
To
because
me,
even if he
Stipe needs
fights
to
Francis,
retire.
he's gonna have to fight him anyways. Um,
Stipe needs to retire. That's just the sad truth. He needs to retire. He's a fireman. He doesn't need to work, but he works anyway. He needs to retire from the UFC. He just needs to. You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
he, he's been in some wars. Let's just say that. He,
He has. He really has. Yeah, he's been in some wars, but it's what it is. Did you see that Max Holloway is
yep.
gonna fight Yar
You,
Rodriguez?
you,
I like that.
you know what?
Uh,
You know what happened was Max is
Rodriguez.
like, you know what happened was Max is like, I'm not going to sit out for the rest of the year and not fight because who knows when Brian Ortega and Volkanovski are going to fight because they're filming the Ultimate Fighter right now, and Max just doesn't want to wait until next year for a fight. That's sitting out way too long, So he's like, who's next?
Yeah. And if he wins, he's still the number one contender. I mean, there's no question.
I
You know.
mean, Lee literally set punching records the last time he fought. It wasn't even close. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Did you
Rodriguez
see
is
that
coming off
Paige
of
Van Zant is gonna fight rematch Rachel Ostovich at the bare
yeah,
knuckle?
listen, bare knuckle. I don't care. I really, I don't care. Like, to me, that's the dumbest decision that Paige Van Zant has ever made in her life. She's so beautiful. She's gonna go mess up her face in bare knuckle boxing. What? I just don't understand that. I really don't understand that. You're so beautiful, and you're gonna go get punched in the face with nothing on, no gloves. Oh man, I just don't understand that. She
Uh-huh.
lost,
We'll
whatever.
see what happens. I mean, all we gotta say is we'll see what happens, you know. So, it is what it is, man. So the UFC 263 is gonna
Let's
be
talk about
June
let's talk
12th.
about Paul Felder retiring.
Paul Felder. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a great announcer. He's a great and analyst. I think he had
I'm
a really
glad
good
for Paul.
career. I think he's been fighting for like 10 years, right? Like it's been a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
time. Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the UFC forever, so I mean,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't know if he's, you know, has what it takes to be the champion. And so I think he didn't see a path to the championship belt. Um,
no, he even said that he didn't see it.
I mean, I didn't see that. I mean, the only way I could have seen that happen is if he like
I
waits
mean,
for
he
everybody else to
I mean, he
fight
kind
and
of alluded to like he was gonna retire last when he fought Dan Hooker or even RDA his last fight. He kind of said, "I'm
yeah,
done." Like,
yeah, I don't know. I
I'm
just
glad for him. Though.
yeah, for sure.
I mean,
So, anyways, so June 12th, pay-per-view, uh Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vittori. I think it's going to
two.
be a
Yep,
great
the
match.
rematch. Yep.
A lot of people think Vittori is going to win this fight.
I don't. I don't. They both. I really don't. I know that it looked kind of terrible. That Israel Adesanya got taken down like 3 times, but that was in the 5th round, and he was a little too big. He didn't put on the right muscle. I'm not using that as an excuse, but I just don't think that Marvin can get it done because Israel is just so crafty with his punches. The way he sets up punches, it's
Maybe Marvin's new game plan though is to take him down in the first round.
I mean, Jan couldn't even do it. Jan couldn't even do it to the 5th and 4th round. Because remember, like most of that fight was on the fence, and Jan was trying so hard to take Israel Adesanya down, but it just wasn't happening.
Dude, I'm excited about this card because the next fight, the co-main event, is Davison Figueredo. What
versus
terrifying freak. This dude is 20-1.
I mean,
I don't see him losing. I understand that Brandon Moreno, he's an awesome fighter. He's 18-5.
Dude, that fight was close. That fight was awesome.
It was close.
That was back and forth.
Hey man, Moreno, from the guy from Tijuana, Mexico, is a killer. Whoa, dude. I mean, what an amazing fight.
I was on my seat watching that.
I have to go back and watch it again tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna have to go back.
It was so beautiful to watch. It was so beautiful to watch. Without the low blow, Davidson would have won, but that fight was competitive.
I still think Figueredo is gonna edge it out. I just have a feeling that that dude.
But I think it's gonna be another barn burner, or it's gonna be a first round knockout for Davis.
Yeah, and I think he's just gonna solidify himself even more that he's not going nowhere in the flyweight division.
Can you imagine Henry Cejudo versus Davison Figueiredo? That would be.
I would love to see him come back. I don't think Henry Cejudo will come back. Here's the reason why. He retired on top of the game with 2 belts. He did something a lot of fighters don't ever get to do. Why would you taint that legacy and risk coming back?
4 or 5 fighters did it before him. 4 or 5 fighters did it before him.
Yeah, but how many MMA fighters have there been since this started? Like, there's not that many to do it. Why come back? What's the point?
True.
Unless he wants to fight. If he wants to fight, then he does it because he wants to fight. Conor McGregor fights because he loves the game. Conor McGregor fights because he loves to fight. Conor
McGregor doesn't need to fight because he's one of the richest men on earth.
He doesn't ever have to step foot in the octagon again. I mean, the dude's loaded. Like, the dude's made more money doing other things than fighting. Period. Like, that dude's he's made more money boxing than he has fighting. He's made more money making liquor than he has anything. So, but he loves the game. So Henry Cejudo, if you come out of retirement, I want you to fight Davison Figueredo and then instantly retire.
Yes, because you're gonna take some. Let me tell you, you're gonna take some punches like you never seen before.
Okay, Leon Edwards, Nate Diaz.
I don't care. I really don't care for that fight. They're just giving Nate Diaz another chance. He's getting way too old. I think Leon will get this done easily.
Leon is going to grab the broom and dustpan, sweep him up, throw him in the garbage. I'm gonna tell you.
Yes.
Hey, and here's the deal. I love the Diaz brothers, like, as fighters, watching them as a fan. I absolutely love them. But it's just they're beyond their prime. Yeah. They're beyond of where they were. And there's just the game's ugly right now, man.
Nate Diaz hasn't been the same since he fought Conor McGregor for the second time.
And the thing is that welterweight Nate Diaz? No way. No way. You're already bro. Right.
To get to 155, maybe the top 10 of 155. Then you even have the opportunity to get in the top 12 in welterweight. I just don't see it. I literally don't see it. I mean,
I don't see him getting past Leon Edwards. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. Like,
I mean, hey, if they don't give Leon the next title shot after this, what are they doing? What are they doing? He's on an 8-fight win streak, first of all, and he's been dominating his performances. Like, they haven't been close. The only one loss he had was against the champion, and that was like 5 years ago. They
yeah,
both got better, you know.
that's true. That's true. I think I think he wins this one, and I think he's in contention for fighting for the strap, man.
I
I
mean, if they don't give it to him, that's kind of stupid, but that's the UFC
and
for you.
and so well the thing is who is that? Kamara Usman, right? Yeah, that'd be Usman.
Yeah.
So that's a fight to make because they haven't fought.
I mean, Usman literally has fought everybody except for who is it, Wonderboy Thompson?
Yeah. And Leon. He hasn't fought Leon.
Yes, he has. 5
Oh,
years ago.
oh, 5 years
5 years
ago.
ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. But they're both they're majorly different now. They're different styles of fighters now. Like Usman has punching power now. Leon has takedown defense now. It's like
It's a better fight. Yeah. It's a better fight. Yeah, I see Leon beating Nate Diaz. I don't see Leon beating Kamara
yes.
Usman. I
I
don't
think
know if I see him beating Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy. That's a tough fight right there. I don't know about
I
that
don't
one either.
I don't see Usman beating Wonderboy. Just how fast he is and just how crafty he is. I think he has a good chance to, but I don't think he's gonna be on the feet.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And then the next fight, Damon Maya versus Bilal.
M.M.A needs to retire. First of all, he needs to retire.
All right, you said it, and I agree with you. I really think that Muhammad is going to win this one. I think that the thing is Damian Maya, once he gets you on the ground, he's a serious threat, and he can tap out anybody.
I
But
mean,
I
that's
just think
iffy.
that Muhammad's going to, win this and solidify himself that he's up there. I actually see like if a Leon Edwards wins and Muhammad wins, they could duke it out for whoever wins that could fight for the belt, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Leon Edwards wins this in a crazy knockout fashion, and then that just solidifies him to
But
fight for the belt
Leon
next.
is not like a crazy knockout artist, though. He's like a volume puncher, and then eventually he'll knock you out with volume punches. And it's not going to knock you out with one punch. I mean, it's
Right.
going to be good, over time. It's probably going to be maybe the end of the second round, beginning of third, but it's not going to be in the first round.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So either way, this is a stacked card. Like it's stacked all the way down. I mean, you got Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill. He's 7-0. Hill
And
is
they just rescheduled TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen for July.
nice. Looks like UFC Jung versus Dan Ig versus Chan Sung Jung. And then you got the co-main event is Olenek versus Sergey Spivak. That should be a pretty good fight. Marlon Vera versus Davy Grant. That should be a pretty good fight. Then you got UFC Fight Night Game versus Volkov. That should be a pretty good fight. So we got some good fights coming up. That's for sure. All right. Well, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel because we're bringing you the MMA news. We're giving you commentary on each fight and we're giving you our predictions. Thank you.